Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to the marketplace. Coming up, a liquefied petroleum gas marketers indicate stocks may run out soon if supply challenges do not improve.
You've been telling me what you have basically will last for just 2 to 3 days. That means after the 2 to 3 days, there wouldn't be any gas supply from your end?
Yeah, for now, that's what you have for now. I don't know if some will be coming or not.
Meanwhile, the National Petroleum Authority says the situation will be addressed before the close of this week.
Oh, actually, like I said, the products are already in the depot, so the reconciliation has been completed now. So the volumes have been uploaded into the ERDMS, and sales will start actually in less than an hour.
Also coming up, calls for an audit of ECG board after the MD resigns.
Found that it leaves much to be desired, then they have to be also dissolved. But sacking the MD doesn't necessarily mean sacking the board.
My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for joining us. Details coming up. And thanks for staying with us, everyone. First up, a supply of liquefied petroleum gas is expected to normalize today. This is because the Tema Oil Refinery has told Joy Business that the initial challenges that resulted in supply issues in some parts of the country have been resolved, and they expect supplies to start picking up today. Meanwhile, the LPG marketers in Accra have indicated that their stock may run out soon if the supply of gas does not improve. Joy Business's James Ishen has been engaging some of them.
So it's exactly 10 a.m. and I'm currently at the Avino gas filling station, and we've been here for some 5 minutes or so. And when we came over here, we didn't observe any long queues here, but upon my interaction with the security personnel here, I was being told that there have not been gas for the past 1 week, and that's how come we see the metallic board and also the wooden structure there written, sorry, no gas. We'll be moving to other places to also observe what's the situation there. You know, the LPG Marketers Association had actually warned that the situation is going to be dire by Friday if supply of gas has not been improved. So let's move to other areas and know what exactly is the situation there. So my next stop is the Alajo gas filling station, and over here it seems there is gas, but there seems to be quite a long queue here. That is what we've observed here, and currently I have the manager of the place, and he's earlier been telling me that what they have may only last for 2 to 3 days. You've been telling me what you have basically will last for just 2 to 3 days. That means after the 2 to 3 days, there wouldn't be any gas supply from your end?
Yeah, for now, that's what you have for now. I don't know if some will be coming or not. Yeah.
But what are the BDCs saying? What are the other players also saying?
With that, it will be on my boss. I don't know what is going to happen next. So unless maybe I discuss with him and then see what will happen. Yeah.
For how long have you been having such queues here?
Since last week.
Since last week.
Yeah.
And you've been able to supply all of these people?
We've been able to supply. We supplied more than what we've been supplying. Yeah.
Right, so that is the situation here at the Alajo gas filling station, and it appears over here there is actually gas, but the only concern here had to do with long queues. I mean, people from other places had to come here to, you know, try as much as possible to have some gas for their activities they have at home. I saw you with your cylinder. What was the situation?
Actually, there is a queue there, and there are a lot of people there, so I have to move to another station where they fill the gas. Maybe I'll go to Santana or any other place I'll get.
And how sure are you when you go to Santana?
There are certain places people doesn't know there, so we'll move to that place and go and fill the gas. Yeah.
As a driver, is this your first time you've been experiencing such a thing? I mean, for the past 3 days?
Oh, normally I think this whole week, that is what is going on. Any place that you go, you don't get the gas.
And how is it affecting you?
It's very stressing, you know, like you go to this side, you don't get it, so you have to move to another place. You are wasting your fuel as well.
I've seen you in your queue. I could count almost, if I'm not getting things wrong, almost 20 or 30 cylinders a year. Is this the first time you're experiencing this?
Yeah, as for me, this is the first time. Yeah.
But have you been to other places, and what are they saying here?
Actually, I have a company who do supply me, but I ran out of shortage before their date. That's why I'm coming here to get some small one too.
So if I'm to get you clearly, you have a company that supplies you, and now there's a shortage there.
The shortage in my factory.
Okay. So that's why you decided.
I decided to buy something.
And when you came here, what was the situation like? What are they telling you?
Well, I didn't ask anybody anything, but if you can see the queue, that means there's a shortage of gas in the system.
And how is it affecting you? Are you stressed?
Oh yeah, it will be a stress. Imagine you work down and you come to pay the gas before you go and do whatever you are going to do, and you came and didn't see the gas. It's a lot of problem.
Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Newtown, Accra, Newtown.
We'll be moving straight to the National Petroleum Authority to know what they also make of this and how they intend to resolve the situation.
Well, the National Petroleum Authority says the situation will be addressed before the close of the week. Abbas Ibrahim Tassinti is the head of economic regulation at the authority.
From your perspective, what led to this particular challenge?
Okay, so I'm sure you are talking about the concern that have been raised about the possible shortage of LPG. So actually, there was an operational challenge at some of the depots after the recent LPG vessel that came to discharge, completed discharge. What is done is that when the completion of discharge is done, there has to be a reconciliation at all the depots, and then the quantity certificates are signed off by all parties. But I think there were some unusual losses at some of the depots. I think they discharged about 4 depots, and then they had issues with some of them. The concern was that some of the losses at the depots were above the norm. So the supplier had to discuss with the receivers to agree on what the standard allowable losses are for them to sign off. I think that discussion is what delayed a little bit. So I think I heard concerns being raised that it was store. It's not actually store alone. There were about 4 different depots. All of them had similar issues. As we speak this morning, all those issues have been resolved. The reconciliation has been completed. The quantity certificate at all has been signed now. TFC has been signed. The TMPT has been signed as well. The other depot matrix, as I speak, I just ended a meeting with the supplier. That's also been agreed. It's also been signed. So all the depots, I think the only outstanding depot was Quantum, which has also a way forward has been agreed to agree on what outend quantity should be used. So all of that has been signed. The quantities are now being uploaded into the ERDMS so that the BDCs can now sell to the LPGM. So I think in less than an hour, sales should start from the depots, and that should address the concerns about a possible shortage of LPG.
And is there a timeline? We've spoken about the engagement so far. Some are saying in the next 2-3 days also. Is there a timeline? When are we to expect this end?
Oh, actually, like I said, the products are already in the depot, so the reconciliation has been completed now. So the volumes have been uploaded into the ERDMS, and sales will start actually in less than an hour.
Now, there have been a concern. Somewhere last year, I did a similar report on gas shortage, and we're here this time. What is the regulator doing or measures putting in place to ensure that we don't find ourselves in this situation every year?
So actually, one of our main tasks is to ensure that there's always products available for consumers. And I'm sure it is very unusual to hear that there's any shortage of any petroleum products in Ghana. Sometimes when these issues happen, it's an operational issue. As we speak, we have more than 3 weeks of LPG to last. In fact, almost a month. And we've introduced what we call the tender program, LPG tender program, where we import the quantities in bulk for all the suppliers.
Gabriel Kumi is Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association. He joins me on Zoom right now to discuss what is going on. We've seen the long queues, Gabriel. Are things improving? What are you hearing from your members? You're muted.
Yes, Daryl, it's quite refreshing to hear MPA says that the issues have been resolved. They are the regulators, or if they are assuring the whole nation that the issues have been resolved, we take that in good faith. We are business people. any shortage is a negative to us. So once the MPA has assured that the issues has been resolved, we are going to place our orders with the BDCs and ensure that we load products onto the market so we can satisfy our consumers.
I mean, you are warning of a full-blown shortage by this weekend if the situation is not addressed. We've heard from Tor speaking to Joy Business telling us that they believe this will be resolved soon. The MP also saying it will be resolved soon. Are those assurances enough?
They are enough because yesterday we did raise the alarm that there were reconciliation issues which were not addressed, and our source indicate that those reconciliation issues have been addressed, and that loading is going to start this afternoon. But what it is that it takes about 24 hours to get these products to the retail outlets. So these queues you are seeing may continue into tomorrow, because if you look at the other areas of the country, like the north and the northern part of the country, it will take some time for the product to get there. So we are looking at if loading issues should start today. We are looking at the product getting to these LPG outlets by tomorrow. So if loading is supposed to start today and continue to tomorrow, by the weekend, we expect all LPG stations in the country to have stock. So it's good news to us, but we will urge the regulator to ensure that this does not occur again, because it's not good for business, it's not good for consumers, and we need to ensure that there's free flow of LPG at all times to ensure that consumers receive the product at good time.
Okay, that's reassuring, and like you said, it's important that this doesn't happen again. Final question to you. I just wanted to find out what the situation is with your boycott of Blue Ocean and Sage Petroleum. Has there been any development from the last time we spoke?
Our boycott of those two depots is still in full force. They are talking to us. We haven't come to any conclusive resolution yet. We will continue to hold on to our boycott until we finally agree on the way forward with those two depots and then MPA. So I want to assure you that apart from those two depots, there are metrics in serving products. Poor Trade is having a lot of products. Temari Refinery is also stocking a lot of products. We are going to continue to load from these three depots in Tema, while to continue to engage State Petroleum and Blue Ocean to find a solution to what really caused us to boycott those two depots. But we want to assure the nation that these three depots have more than enough stock. So we are going to ensure that we lift from these depots and supply to the rest of the country as immediately as possible. What we are also having challenges with supply from Atwabo. I'm sure we are all very much aware that the gas processing plant is not performing as it should. So that has also affected the supply of LPG from Atwabo. Our mother association, the Association of Oil Marketing Companies, have written to NPA to allow LPG marketing companies to lift product from Tema to the Atwabo catchment area. And we are very hopeful that NPA is going to give approval to this, so we don't witness any shortage in the Atwabo zone.
All right. Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association, Gabriel Kumi, thank you so much for the update. Appreciate it. All right. Turning to other developments in the energy front, all members of the ECG board have been urged to resign in the wake of the decision by the company's managing director, Samuel Dubik Mahama, to step down from his role. According to the energy sector players, the resignation will not be meaningful if the board stays at post. The MD is citing personal reasons for his decision, which will take effect from the 7th of October this year. His resignation comes at the back of several financial challenges confronting the power distribution company. Energy strategist Dr. Yusuf Suleimana has been reacting to the exit. He warns of dire consequences if challenges faced by ECG are not addressed.
ECG is something that we can't afford to get wrong, in the sense that it is a key cash conduit for the other streams within the power sector. If ECG is not right, if you don't get ECG right, we can be sure that the transmission and distribution is going to struggle, because it is ECG that serves as cash pool for these other agencies, or for these other value streams. And so yes, we need to get ECG right. We need to ensure that ECG is run efficiently. And so that's how I call for the fact that we need to get a quick replacement as much as possible. And we need to find the underlying causes. Though he mentioned that it's personal reasons, we need to know what those reasons could be, and so that maybe the new one coming doesn't step into same minds and being asked, at the end of the day. So there's also a call that the board has to go. I feel that we will need a immediate replacement for the managing director, and then an audit has to be done with respect to the board contribution to the efficiency of ECG. If it is found that it leaves much to be desired, then they have to be also dissolved. But sacking the MD doesn't necessarily mean sacking the board. If you feel that the board is okay, we needn't do that. But I think we can't leave the topmost level, which is the MD, in the vacuum position. It's very important that an immediate replacement is found, and a right support given to ensure that the ECG can deliver its mandate of first of all minimizing these losses, and to be able to ensure continuous cash supply to the power pool.
All right, time for our business and politics segment. And concerns about the growing number of labor grievances in Ghana are growing, with warning that the country could face mass industrial action if the government fails to address the escalating issues. There is widespread dissatisfaction among unions and the potential for a significant wave of strikes across various sectors in the lead up to the December polls. And how would that influence the outcome of the elections? Well, Musa Dankwa, pollster with Global Info Analytics, joins me on Zoom. Good afternoon to you. And so we see this happening very often in an election year where various labor unions go on strike. How is that expected to shape the outcome of the elections? You're muted.
Yes. Thank you very much for having me. We have seen this strategy by labor unions for decades, and they tend to hold government ransom during the election year because they know that any dissatisfaction among in the labor front would cost the government. So the government has to be very delicate in addressing those issues. But I think there are wider issues for the government to deal with than the labor one. But you don't want to add the labor issues to the other challenges that we have: unemployment, the economy, and other cost of living challenges. So the government must sit down with labor and try and find a solution towards these labor unrest. It's not really fair for labor to hold government ransom in any situation. But I think that parties must sit together and try and resolve the issues.
I mean, how much of a significant force are they really in this election? I mean, what weight do they carry in determining who wins the elections?
No, they carry quite a lot. If you look at the population, you're looking at maybe about 20% of voters being government employees. And these are very good numbers. If government employees are not happy, then certainly 20% is quite big. And this 20% cut across party lines, MPP, NDC, and floating voters. If they decide to pay you back, it could be very costly. So the government has to bear in mind the political consequences or the electoral consequences of these actions of the labor union.
Well, is this necessarily an advantage for the opposition, the main opposition party, the NDC? And you see, I mean, both political parties in their strategies try to win these labor unions over?
I don't think they should see it as an advantage, because if it doesn't get resolved, they will come and inherit it if they win power. So it should be in their interest that these issues are resolved peacefully. Even though you want to win election, you don't want to win election based on the fact that people are not happy with the government and they are disenchanted. and that you want to ride at the back of that to win power. If you do win, those issues will come back and haunt you. So I think it is in our interest as a country to go beyond that and hope that the government is able to resolve those issues.
Well, final one, a few months to the elections, what's it looking like based on your polling?
You want to jump the gun. Let's wait till next week. The new polls will come out next week, and I think we'll see where the country is headed.
What are still the main critical issues for voters? The last time we talked, there was the economy.
It is still the economy, number one for every voter. Number two is jobs, and then you have education. I think we've seen education rise up a bit in terms of how it was ranking before this. So people are maybe getting a bit concerned about education again, but not as high as it used to be in the past.
All right, we'll keep watching. Hopefully when the polls are out, we'll come back to you again. Mr. Dankwa, Global Info Analytics, thank you so much. And that's the marketplace, everyone. Thanks for watching. More news on our website. Are we getting it? myjoyonline.com/business. There you go. More on the LPG shortage hitting parts of the country. myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for watching.